You know, the older I get in my own singing, the more athletic it becomes, because you really you've got to learn economy as you age. You you can override a lot of physical and emotional entanglements through sheer desire to sing when you're a young person. And you know, I'm sure that I did that. I know I did. But as you get older, you don't recover from, if you've done things where you're constantly kind of fatiguing your vocal apparatus and the surrounding musculature, you don't recover as quickly. So you really have to learn to just be as simple as possible. And I think just the basic cardio fitness would be, you know, the things that affect breathing are tremendously important, because the one thing you sure don't want to be is short of breath. And if you're chronically short of breath, you're just going to have a lot of trouble singing. But it's also, the athleticism of it is apparent in the need to, for musculature, let me say this a different way. You need to experience what it is to isolate muscularly what you do, so that you're working in areas where the muscles are larger and you're resting in the muscles that are more vulnerable. And that just takes a tremendous knowledge of and awareness of body. And I don't think that there are any really great singers who aren't really superb athletes, because I find the single hardest thing when I haven't been singing for a while is just, I suppose it would be analogous to a racket swing or a club swing or a bat swing, is to come into your voice with the breath at exactly the right moment, so that your breath really speaks already carried, or your voice speaks being carried on the breath, so that it's not but you're coming in. You take a breath and it's not just, it doesn't speak glottally as we're so prone to in English, where every other thing is kind of, I'm doing it right now, is kind of a stop, but that you have the feeling that the entrance of the voice is really a glide, and that it comes from deep down in the body. And that coordination can change depending on how you feel that day. You know, if you're breathing good air and you're in good shape and you haven't been out partying the night before, sometimes you wake up and it's just there. You don't think about that coordination. But then there are other days when, you know, you might have done everything perfectly, but you get up in the morning and you feel sluggish and your voice is not very responsive, and it's at that point that you have to practice your swing, so to speak. And that's I think, the basic singing coordination, that everything kind of goes together with a feeling of spontaneity, but it's definitely led from the breath and from a lower place in your body. And then a split second later, you feel it kind of ring up here, and you have no feeling of sensation, particularly in your throat. Hopefully none at all would be great.